When you picture the Wild West, you probably see a lone cowboy in a dusty hat, squinting into the sunset. That's Hollywood's doing. We took a tough, complicated slice of American history and turned it into a mythic stage. Good guys in white hats, bad guys in black, and saloon whiskey that was probably just iced tea. The real West was gritty and hard, but the Hollywood West became a place of adventure, where anyone could be a hero, and every sunset was a masterpiece. We polished the rough edges and created a national campfire story, a fantasy of freedom and courage that's fed the American soul for over a century. The cinematic West is a legend, bigger than life, where a man's word is his bond and the landscape is as vast as your dreams. It's more than gunfights and cattle drives, it's about searching for home and a code to live by. So when you see that cowboy on screen, remember, he's carrying the weight of 100 years of movie making and the hopes of everyone who ever dreamed of the frontier. He's the symbol of rugged individualism, a reminder of a time when the world felt simpler, even if it wasn't. The Hollywood West is a frontier of the imagination, a place we all visit when we need a little adventure. It's a powerful myth, and it started long before the movies even had sound. That cowboy isn't just a character, he's an ideal, and he's here to stay. The legend of the West is as enduring as the land itself. Before actors spoke a word, the West was already alive on the silver screen. The silent era gave us the first taste of cinematic adventure, chases, standoffs, and outlaws, all told through action. The Great Train Robbery in 1903 set the template. Bandits, a posse, and a gunman firing at the audience. Audiences were hooked. These early films were simple but powerful, establishing the lawman, the villain, and the cowboy as American icons. William S. Hart brought grit and authenticity, showing cowboys with a conscience. Tom Mix, on the other hand, was all flash and spectacle, stunts, fancy outfits, and a superstar horse. Silent westerns were churned out by the hundreds, offering city dwellers a cheap escape to a world of endless plains and heroic deeds. The West became America's first great cinematic export, a story everyone could understand. Even without sound, these movies had rhythm, thundering hooves, tense duels, sweeping landscapes. Hart's grit and Mix's showmanship defined the two poles of the Western hero. Together they set the stage for everything that followed. The silent westerns built the foundation for a genre that would never die. The myth was born in silence, but it spoke to everyone. When sound arrived, the Western found its voice, and its legends. John Wayne, the Duke, became the face of the West, tough, steady, and larger than life. He wasn't just acting, he embodied a code of honor people wanted to believe in. But there was more than one way to wear the badge. Gary Cooper in High Noon showed us the reluctant hero, scared, alone, but standing tall because it was right. James Stewart brought darkness and complexity, playing men haunted by their pasts. Henry Fonda, as Wyatt Earp, was the calm force of civilization taming chaos. These actors didn't just play cowboys, they became the West. They looked like they belonged in that world, riding, fighting, surviving. Each brought something unique. Wayne's swagger, Cooper's quiet strength, Stewart's intensity. They set the standard for Western heroes, defining the genre for generations. Their characters were flawed, human, and unforgettable. The Western hero became an American archetype, one we still look up to. The badge and the boots became symbols of something bigger than any one man. What made the Western so irresistible? Freedom. The West was a place where you could ride for days, answer to no one, and make your own rules. In a world growing crowded and complicated, that fantasy was a breath of fresh air. The cowboy was the ultimate free agent. No boss, no boundaries. The morality was simple. Good guys, bad guys, justice delivered on horseback. In real life things are messy, but in a Western, right and wrong are clear. The landscape itself was a character. Vast, beautiful, and unforgiving. Directors like John Ford made Monument Valley as iconic as any hero. The cowboy lived by a code: defend the weak, keep your word, never shoot a man in the back. That rugged honor was something to aspire to. We all wanted to believe we could be that brave, that true. The Western let us dream of being heroes, if only for a couple of hours. That's why we keep coming back. For decades, the Western stuck to its rules. But by the 1960s and 70s, the world, and the genre, changed. The old black and white morality didn't fit anymore. Filmmakers started to question the myths. Enter the spaghetti westerns, Sergio Leone's gritty, stylish films like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name wasn't a noble lawman, He was a drifter, surviving in a world where everyone was corrupt. Back in America, Sam Peckinpah's The Wild Bunch showed violence as brutal and ugly, not heroic. These weren't comforting fables, they were tragic, violent poems about the end of the Old West. The revisionist Western looked at the other side too. Native Americans, once faceless villains, became real people with their own stories. Films like Little Big Man challenged the old cavalry myths. The Western was growing up, more honest, more critical, and more interesting. The genre proved it could be taken apart and rebuilt. The West wasn't just a legend anymore, it was a place for hard questions, and that made it stronger. No Western is complete without a saloon, the town's living room, courthouse, and boxing ring. Rule 1. The piano player. He's seen it all, keeps playing through a brawl, but dives for cover when guns come out. Cowboy hats tell you everything. White for heroes, black for villains, and never touch another man's hat unless you want trouble. Those swinging doors, they're made for dramatic entrances, and even more dramatic exits. The cowboy's horse is his best friend. Always loyal, always in the right place at the right time. Movie horses are miracle workers. Never tired, always ready, sometimes smarter than their riders. Whiskey is the fuel of the West, served in dirty shot glasses, strong enough to knock out a mule. The hero can drink a bottle and still shoot straight. The sidekick spills secrets after one shot. No one orders a drink with words, just a coin slid down the bar and a glass slid back. These tropes are part of the fun, predictable, ridiculous, and beloved. The saloon is where legends are made and stories get taller. It's all part of the grand, dusty theater of the West. Without the saloon, the West just wouldn't be the same. It's the heart of every cowboy tale. You'd think the Western would have ridden off for good, but it's still alive, just wearing new boots. Modern filmmakers blend classic themes with fresh ideas, proving the West's core, justice, survival, finding your place, never gets old. Unforgiven, directed by Clint Eastwood, turned the genre inside out, an old gunslinger haunted by violence, showing the true cost of the myth. It won Best Picture and proved the Western could still be profound. Then came the neo-Western, same spirit, new setting. No Country for Old Men is a Western at heart, a lawman, a killer, a regular guy in over his head, all set in modern Texas. The frontier isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. TV saddled up too. Yellowstone is a modern cattle ranch saga with family drama and corporate intrigue. The Western's DNA is everywhere, from the Mandalorian space cowboys to superhero loners. The lone hero standing against impossible odds started in the West. The genre isn't dead, it's evolved. The spirit of the frontier still inspires new stories. The West is a tough old soul. It always finds a way to survive.